It is time for the August technique class. And I'm not sure, when I was trying to go live, it said that the stream was set to go live July 30th, which kind of threw me for a loop because July 30th was a long time ago. It is August. It is indeed August. And today is the August Technique Club. Okay. The Technique Club is a club that myself and my friend Christine Bertram from the United States collaborate with. And we do this class with you to teach you a new technique every month, right? It's fun to use our stamping products on different ways. And it is, I'm just going to grab my computer, make sure that I'm live in the right spot here. If you're joining me live, I'd love to know you're with me. Leave me a comment, like the video. I invite you to go out and click the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any live videos. It is a pleasure of mine to be here with you today to bring you these cards. We have some really fun cards to share with you today. We're using the bundle from the annual catalog, Friends for Life. And that is a fantastic bundle to make all kinds of different cards celebrating friendship. Hi, Gail. Thank you for being here. Good to have you with me. Hi, Alexina. Hello, hello. Everyone's popping in. Hello, Maria. Okay, I'm just going to get my YouTube channel up on my laptop here so I can see the comments and everything. Hopefully, they won't pass me by here. Let's see. Hello, Krista. Hello again. Yeah, I was live just a little while ago, just like literally a few minutes ago over on my Facebook page for my morning video. And it was so lovely to share those two cards with you this morning. So now we're here on YouTube together. Thank you all for joining me. And we're going to play with three beautiful cards. We're going to make three beautiful cards. Now, if you are in the club already, then you are going to already have your kits in hand. So you want to grab those, or you can, better yet, I recommend to wait until the video is over and watch the replay at your own pace. You can pause, fast forward, rewind. This video will live here on YouTube for as long as YouTube allows it. And you can come back and rewind and rewatch the video and pause and do the cards in a more sensible speed. Christine and I both agree. I know when Christine does her classes, she says too, it's not intended for you to keep up with us as we do the cards. We try to get through them in the most efficient way to not waste your time. It's never wasting your time, right? But I want you to be able to enjoy watching them and then come back and recreate them later. All right, so let's see. I think I've made it to my channel on my laptop here. And so I'm going to click the live button. There it is. It shows that I'm live. Yay. We're live in the right spot. Whoop. Okay, I don't want to be, I don't want to hear my voice. Not like that anyway. There's something weird about hearing yourself and seeing yourself on a video. Okay, now I can make this a little bit bigger and see your comments and see everyone that's joining. Okay, let me see here. I'm just joining and I'm looking at the chat. So keep those chats coming and I will answer your questions. I will definitely try my best to see those questions out of the corner of my eye and answer them as they happen, okay? So let's flip the camera and get started on these fun cards. I have 3 cards to share with you today and a fun technique using something that virtually every household has. And I won't let you wait any longer. Hi, France. Hello, hello. Hello, Bridget. Alrighty, let's flip the camera and show you what I've got in store. We're going to jump right into the technique because there is a bit of drying time to this technique. I have samples already prepared, but I want to show you how to set this up. All right, here we go. We're going to flip. If I remember, I think the buttons have changed on... what does this button do? Oh, yep, that's it. Okay, turning you down to my work surface here. Whoop. There is my glass mat. Now the Glass Mat Studio, it came available to customers, I think in the month of July. Here's one of the cards we're doing. Whee! There's a sneak peek. And I think it was in the month of July, or was it June? I think it was June, actually, to be, if I'm correct. But this is an amazing studio. It's called a studio because you get parts, lots of parts, right? You get the glass mat, which the reason I'm bringing that up is the glass mat is fantastic for doing techniques, okay? So, yes, I will send you the PDF. I will send it to you as soon as it is. I think Christine's friend is proofreading it right now, and as soon as I have that, I will send it to you, Marie. Absolutely. And then, so that is something, a perk of being in the club. All the club members get sent the PDF tutorial, the kits, and the description for their technique binders. So the binders that I'm referring to are our Stampin' Up. You can use the Stampin' Up binders, the Memories and More binder. I use them to store my technique cards, which look like this. So this month, my club members would have received their kits, and they will have a sample of the technique and then a description for the bottom. So they can purchase special page protectors and put them into the binder, and I've labeled them August 2024. So this is this month, and then next month they can use the back side of their page protector to put September's technique, and they just keep on going, right? In Canada, the club lasts 10 months. I think Christine does hers exact same way. And it's a 10-month club. It's a minimum $40 purchase with a host code. Now, we have a host code that I would post in a private Facebook group. I love having the ladies in that group because then we can share different projects. Some of the ladies take the technique and they continue to use it, and I encourage them to post any other samples that they make and share with one another, because that's the part of being in the club, is learning a new technique and then sharing. Okay, so today's technique this month for August 2024, we are going to be doing the salted background technique. Yes, my friends, you heard me right. Salt. We're going to play with salt today. Yes, I'm going to talk to you about the September Technique Club at the end, Krista, and I have a couple of samples, little sneak peeks that I'm going to share with you. I think you're going to like this one. Okay, but let's jump right into our August technique. The August technique, we're going to use salt, and I have here some salt that I keep in my pantry, and it's in a shaker. This is the coarse salt, but you can use any type of salt to do the salt background. So I have coarse salt in here. This is in a little shaker, a little grinder. So we're going to grind out the salt onto our background. And this is a really, really fun technique. We're going to bring in a piece of watercolor paper. So in the Stampin' Up! Catalog, we have what's called Fluid 100 paper. Now I just cut a piece just before I went live. And it's on my desk here. I have gremlins in my room that like to come and move things around. I know it's just me. It's not a gremlin. It's me. Okay, but I did have a bigger piece of paper, but I'm going to show you on a smaller piece here. Now, when you get your Fluid 100 paper, it's going to come in a packaging like that. Not like that. I don't even have the packaging because I wanted to show you that the label for the packaging is actually made of watercolor paper too. So it's got print on one side, but you can use the back side, okay? Marie says, love that technique, use it along when I used to watercolor. Yeah, it's a watercoloring technique for sure. Okay, so I have another scrap piece of paper here that I can bring in, and I'll show you what we're gonna do, because my piece of watercolor paper grew legs and walked away from me. Okay. You know how you have those quotations, safe places, right? Safe place. Thursday gremlins. Yes, Marie. Oh my gosh, that's exactly what it is. On Thursdays, for some reason, I have gremlins in my room. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, here it is. I found it. See, I just had to mention the gremlins and then they went away. Okay, here's the piece of the Fluid 100 paper, and we're going to color it. First thing first for this salted background technique is you have to apply color to your background paper. And so I have a Stampin' Spot here. Now these Stampin' Spots, you can get them in your paper pumpkin kit. You can get them uninked and you can make your own. So I've just got a Coastal Cabana one here, and I've got my reinker close by because I want to definitely, like when I was preparing all of these samples for the technique sheets for their binders, for my club members binders, I had to continually add more ink to this little spot because it's just a tiny ink pad, right? So I'm going to take the ink pad in my hand and I'm going to rub it all over the watercolor paper. Okay, so I'm going to apply a good amount of ink. Now you can apply your ink with a marker. You could use the regular ink pad. You could use anything except blends, any of the watercolor, water-based inks, right? You could use the markers, the Stampin' Write markers and color. I just found it simpler to use a little spot. And then if it dries, if you're doing a bigger piece, like this was sufficient to do this small piece, but when I prepared for my club members, I did a full sheet of I did actually 10 of them, and I spread them out all over the kitchen table, and my husband's like, what are you doing? Especially when I started spraying stuff and then shaking the salt. I think he thought I'd lost my mind. Why do you have like all this watercolor paper on our kitchen table and now you're putting salt on it? But he thought it was pretty cool as it dried and he saw the technique come through. So what we're going to do is we're going to, I hope you can see, maybe I can zoom in a little bit here. Oh, look at that, I can. All right, there, that's a little bit better. Okay, so we're zooming in a little bit. I'm gonna use one of our spritzers. So Stampin' Up! Has their own spritzers, and they're just basically a little tube like this and a little spritzer, and you just open it up, take it to the kitchen sink or a tap, fill it up with water, and just reapply the top. And then we're gonna take that and we're gonna spritz a nice amount of water all over this paper. So you want to get a good amount of water because this is what's going to create the technique. So we're spritzing up our watercolor paper and making a nice puddle of water. And then we're going to take the salt shaker. Okay, so I'm bringing in my salt shaker. I'm going to apply the salt right on top. So you can go ahead and shake, shake, shake like that. Okay, so we're shaking the salt on top. Then we are going to let this dry. Okay, so I'm going to place this onto, I just have some scrap cardstock here. I'm going to put it on here and I'm going to put this off to the side. Let me show you what it looks like up close. If you can tell, I don't know if it's hard to see or not, this chemical reaction is happening right now. So the salt is going to soak up the ink from the water and the ink mixture on below it. And as it does, it's going to leave a mottled background, okay? And every single piece is different. And I'll show you, I have some samples here. I'll show you of the different colors. I had a lot of fun with this technique. So I'm gonna lay this off to the side and let it dry. And then we'll get on to putting these cards together. So let me just grab my baby wipe and we'll swoop up this excess salt off of my glass mat, which is virtually non-destructible. I love, love, love the glass mat so much that I really don't know how I'd lived without this glass mat in my studio. And I'm not being over exaggerant. Like, I absolutely love it. It is very, very useful. Okay, so let me just zoom out just a tiny bit here, maybe give you a little bit of a better perspective of things. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna let that dry, but let me show you some samples that have already been done and dried. So when I went to my Boston Pizza class, I took some gorgeous grape spots and I did a little bit of color, and you can see the effect here on the edges. Can you see? I said I'm a lab tech by trade, so I was saying that they kind of look like epithelial cells under the microscope. And people, I just found that really funny, but they do kind of look like cells a little bit over here. So, and in the middle here, we still have a few little salt granules. When it's completely dry, you can wipe those off with the finger, or you could use a little brush. Some of the ladies at Boston Pizza suggested leaving that salt. It adds texture, right? So this is just a sample of gorgeous grape with some salt on it. Here's the background I did. I believe this one had cherry cobbler. The colors of the ink actually take a different shade when you do this technique, and depending on how much ink you applied. So I didn't apply a whole lot of ink in the background here. You can really saturate your cardstock. Like this sample right here was Poppy Parade, and I really did add a lot of color to this strip, and you can see how it looks different here. It's totally like, I can't even tell how to describe this. Like here in the middle, you can see I used a lot of salt. Out here, you can see there were like probably individual granules that made this effect on the cardstock. So fun. Then I was playing around with my markers and I did a rainbow effect here. So you could do like a, what is that called? Like a tie-dye look on your cardstock with your markers if you have Now remember, it's water-based ink, so water-based markers are Stampin' Write markers. And there's another one, I think this was using Cherry Cobbler again. And you can see that beautiful mottled look. No two pieces are the same with this technique. Much the same with a lot of techniques, right? Okay, so that's that one. Oh, look at the blue. This is Blueberry Bushel. I really love this strip here. And you can see, like, as it dries, that's when you see the effect, right? So have fun playing around with this effect. It is, it is addictive. I couldn't stop playing with it. And then I have, let's see, do I have another sample here? Yeah, I have the green. This one I think was, I think it was a mixture of Coastal Cabana and I think perhaps Summer Splash. But anyway, it you can see it. It actually shows like a little bit of a different shading of green, right? So lots and lots of fun with the salted background technique. So the ladies in the club received a sample on their technique club piece for their binder. Like this one, it's a, you can see all of them are different, of course, right? Like I did big pieces and then I chopped them up to show different effects. So everybody got a different sample, and of course they got the description of how to do the technique. And that's actually the evolution of how this technique club came around. The ladies used to come to my house and do this club, and we would do a different technique each month, and they would say, I love the cards, Rose, but I give away the card and then I forget how to do the technique. So having the binder with the samples and then the description is really, really helpful. That is the feedback I get from all the ladies. So I just wanted to share that with you, how it works. And I often get the question, how do you have enough techniques to keep going? Well, it's easy. Stampin' Up! Keeps coming out with new things and new products that we can use in so many different ways. So it never gets old. I've been a demonstrator. It'll be 22 years on October 4th. And I am still having fun and still learning, always, always learning. Okay, so let's get started on, well, let's start with the technique card. So the technique card looks like this. So you're going to want to open up your packaging to the piece with Melon Mambo for your card base. And then we've got, this is going to be the inside. I didn't attach mine yet, but this is how the card looks. So let me grab my card kit here because I'm going to do this with you. And we're going to bring this in. Now, this is the sample. So everybody would get this piece in their kit. So it's already dried. I cannot send stamped images, but I can send pieces like this that have been salted, right? That is allowed per Stampin' Up! Policy. I cannot send stamped images. So you are going to want to have this stamp set if you want to make these cards exactly like mine, but it's not necessary. You can use whatever stamps you have at home and be in the club, the technique club. I try my best to design these cards so that you don't have to buy each bundle each month, but I find a lot of club members do buy the bundles. They want to know ahead of time so that they can get the bundle of the month. And I send the die cuts, the ribbon, and the embellishments, and all of the pre-cut pieces to make the cards. Thank you, Joyce. I'm so happy you like these ones. Thanks for all your wonderful comments, Krista and Crystal and Betty. Thanks so much, everyone, for being here. Okay, so let's open the card kit and see what you will have in your card kit this month. So you want to open it gently because there are embellishments in the envelope, and you don't want to lose your fun bling embellishments because we've given you the ribbon here. This is the iridescent striped ribbon, and those faceted gems, those iridescent faceted gems are absolutely stunning. I'm gonna hold them up close so you can see if you're just watching the video. These are the little faceted gems that come in this suite, and they are fantastic. Okay, let's talk a bit about the dies, because these are really a lot of fun to use. I've had a blast playing with these. These dies go with the stamp set, right? When you buy the bundle, you'll save 10%. This heart up here is absolutely amazing. You can use it by itself. So to cut this heart that you see on my sample card, I used this big die right here with the designer series paper. Now, the designer series paper that goes with this suite, the Full of Life suite, is unbelievable. Let me just grab it and share with you. Full of Life. Where are you? Full. Okay, here we are. I want to just take a second and share this with you because when you buy the entire suite, you're going to get all of this. You're going to get the stamps, the bundle, the ribbon, the bling, and this amazing designer series paper. So what I've done, I went to Dollarama and I bought these clips, okay? And just a any dollar store, whether you're in Canada or the US, they came in a little thing like this for $2.50, right? And I found it useful to organize my DSP by pattern so that I could easily flip through my package and find what I was needing, right? So like this pattern here, there's a lot of very geometric images in this designer series paper that I want to point your attention to. So if you like that look, you get lots to choose from. So let's move my scraps, and I'm just going to go through this paper because it really deserves to be in the limelight. It is absolutely stunning. Okay, so we've got some starburst here, and they're all different. So this one has a starburst with we've got our pinks, all the colors of the rainbow featured. And then I'm going to go through one side and then I'm going to flip it over and show you the other sides. This is a starburst pattern that has all the greens in it, right? And then we're going to go on, we get a pattern with like small squares. And then we have a pattern that has the large squares. I think I've only got one sheet left of that pattern. So this is 4 patterns already, right? And then we move on to the rectangle pattern like this, a rectangle. It looks like a paint swoosh, when you take a paintbrush and go just do a line. So that's the rectangle one. And we have it in the greens. And then we also have it in the blues and the purples. So we're already up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 patterns. Then we've got another swoosh here of a paintbrush, a more rounded one in the yellows and reds. And then we've got it again in the greens, right? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Our 9th pattern is going to be these large circular, the large circular pattern. Then I really need to order a bit more because I've got scraps left of my other patterns. We have a small pattern of circles as well. That's our 10th pattern. And 11 and 12, let's see. I think we've got the small squares, right? Oh yeah, there is a different shade of squares. So we've got this one right here, but there is another shade of squares. Let's see. Oh, I know what I'm missing. It's one of the starbursts. There's another. My stamps are stuck to my bag here. Okay, so we have another starburst pattern that looks like, okay, that's the small circles. Yes, this one right here. No, that's the rainbow one. Sorry guys, I got my small pieces mixed up here, but there are 12 patterns. And I thought I counted them all out, but I must be missing one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And there's one pattern I must have used all up. Anyway, let me just take a good flip of this paper and show you. This is all very geometric on one side, right? And then when you flip it over, look at the ombre effect and look at the different patterns you get. You get this beautiful splotchy pattern that kind of looks like the salted technique, to be honest. And then we've got all these beautiful ombres here, rainbows, all the different colors, like unbelievable paper. I cannot get enough of this paper. I use it a lot. Just because every color that you could imagine is featured here. And then we've got another one here with, it looks like this one, but it's different. So grab this paper. You will not regret it. I think this is going to be a top seller. And don't forget about the designer series paper sale that's going on right now in the month of August, because that paper, the Full of Life paper, is on sale in Canada. It's regular $17 on for $14.45. So grab yourself an extra pack of that paper if you already have it because it's on sale. and they only do this sale once a year, right, on the designer series paper. So I wanted to just point your attention in the way of this amazing, amazing paper. I'm going to be definitely stocking up on at least a few more packages because it's in the annual catalog. So that's going to be around until next May, right, of 2025. Okay, there we go. A little bit of tour of the products. Okay, so now we're going to get on to this card. This is the Technique card. You can see off to the corner here. And we're going to just put everything together now because I've already done the Technique. All of the people in the club received this one, and it's still got a little bit of granule salt left on it, and that's okay. All right, so we've got that. The heart die. Let's go back to the heart die. This is not just a heart. It's a heart, and it's an edge of a heart as well. So we've got, I cut this one out of white, and I got an inside white and an outside white. And I was like intrigued. I'm like, okay, I will be lining my heart with white. Then I cut it out of this piece of designer series paper. I think this is the one that I might be out of right now. The swashes, the swishes, the paintbrush swishes in ovals. So I cut out this piece here, and I have a whole bag of outside rings of that color as well. So we're going to put this together. You see how they just fit together like that? So that's the first thing I'm going to do. I'm going to stick that together. But the die also has an inside piece, and we didn't even use this one, but this is quite intriguing. It has like leaves, so you can actually cut this, and at the same time you can run it through on your white, and you'll get this inside piece, this inside frame. The other die that's quite intriguing is the word friend. You get this big die here at the back, and we're going to use that on another card, and you get the detailed die to go over top of it. Crooked paper. Marie. Yes, Marie. I'm getting used to it. I'm getting over my fear of crooked paper. It's forcing me. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take this heart and see how I've got the outside attached. I'm going to flip it over onto my work surface here. And we're going to use a little bit of tear and tape, and we're going to make sure this frame stays together. Okay, so we're just going to take the tear and tape and cut three little pieces, tiny pieces. You don't need big pieces. And we're just going to put them onto the die right at the seam where those two dies meet. So I'm going to put one right here and on the two sides. Do hearts have sides? I guess they do, right? Okay, I got too many things stuck on my fingers here. All right, so we'll come over here and we'll stick this one down first, like that. And this is purely just to keep them together. All right, so there we go. There on that side. I'm going to keep them together. Okay, so now it's one big unit like that. You don't need to put it all the way around. Just 3 spots will be great. And then, so on my card, I have the ribbon ruched along the side over here. So I'm going to come in and I'm actually going to add another piece, a longer piece of tear and tape to this side. And we make sure I'm doing the right side. Yes. Okay, so I'm going to put that right over top here. And then I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool, and I'm going to expose that glue because I want to arrange that piece of ribbon. So you've got this piece of ribbon in your kit, and we're going to ruffle it and arrange it on this side. So I started out with a straight edge sticking out. So I'm going to hold it in my hand, and I love the tear and tape because you can actually tear this, like you can pull this off and try again. So if you make a mistake, you can try again. I got a little bit of that tear and tape sticking out. I'm just going to trim that right there. And I'm going to trim this on an angle. Get that done right away. There we go. So now I've got my little tail sticking out, and then I'm just going to go ahead and pleat this. So I'm just going to make a little bend and come back to the adhesive all the time, right? And then I'm going to make another little bend at the front. And another bend. Just keep bending it until you got it the way you want. And I'm going to just take the last bend and come on in and secure that down. So let me hold this closer so you can see. This is what I've created here. It's just a little bit of a, let me hold it down so you can see. Just like that. So there's the look from the front. We've got our little pleats and our tail. Okay, so now we're going to grab our dimensionals and we're going to go ahead and put those on top. So let me grab, I think I have to start a new sheet of dimensionals. Let me grab a new sheet and we'll go ahead and get some dimensionals on the back of this heart. So I'm actually going to put a couple over on top of the ribbon. That's going to help to secure the ribbons, make sure it stays put, and it'll help me to pop up this heart as well. So we'll add some more, maybe a couple more. You can never have too many dimensionals, right? Got to make sure this stays popped up nicely. How about two more? One more right there. There's a lot of dimensionals. You probably don't need to use quite this many, but I got them on there, so it's good. It's all good. Okay, so now we'll go ahead and we'll peel off all the backings. Had a problem with that on my video this morning. I was wondering why things weren't sticking, and you'd have to remove the backing or it won't stick. The things that happen on a Thursday. Okay, so now my heart's ready. Okay, so now let's go ahead and bring in the pieces of my card. So we've got our card base and we've got two pieces of basic white, one for the inside and one for the front. So let's deal with the front piece first. And we got our designer series paper, this one right here with the large green squares. Thank you, Marie. I'm happy you like this card. I like this one too. I think it's a really fun one. You can change up the greetings. Remember, if you don't have this stamp set, you can choose whatever you like. In your kit, you're going to have one of these punched out of basic white. This is from the Bee Builder. This little, I love this. It's like a speech bubble. If you're a scrapbooker, this is a perfect accent to your scrapbook pages. You can write over top of what's happening in the page on the pages and put them right on your pictures. That's my favorite thing to do with that one. So from the Full of Life stamp set, I'm going to grab the word hi. Let me grab my stamps here. I need hi, which is this one right here. I need thinking of you and the double heart. So let's get all three of those, get them onto a block. Not one, well, more than one block. Whoops. They're individual blocks. Okay, so one more. That word hi can fit on a small block. Okay, so we're going to stamp the word hi with, I'm going to bring in Summer Splash, but you know what? Coastal Cabana would work. You could use Berry Burst for the hi. It's totally up to you, right? It's your card. You can change up the colors. You got a lot of colors to choose from in the background here. Okay, there's the word hi. The inside piece, get all these stamps out of the way so I don't put my hand in them. I'm going to stamp thinking of you in the middle, like that. And then I'm going to bring in Berry Burst, and we're going to stamp those hearts down in the corner. Remember, don't forget to stamp your envelope too. Envelopes are always fun to stamp those. It's always more fun to get mail that has something done to the envelope. And my friend Marie, who's here with us, she is a gem at doing her envelopes. She even carved her own stamps of gnomes and stamps her envelopes. Like, that is like amazing, absolutely amazing. Okay, so we're going to put our glue on these pieces. And then I'm going to do something that does not come natural to me, and that is putting my paper on crooked. So we're going to put this paper, the squares, going this way, going to the right, and then our watercolor piece that has been treated with the salted background technique is going to go on the other side, just slightly slanted a little bit, like that. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and put that beautiful heart down in the middle over top of those two pieces of paper. And we're going to just tap all those dimensionals in place. And then the word hi is just going to go on top like that. Now I've got a lot of dimensionals on there. So did I put another one? I did put one. So what you could do, if you don't want to make your card too thick, you don't want to add another dimensional, you don't have to. But what I would recommend to keep it all in the same plane is, Marie, you make me blush. It's true. It's true. You are so creative, and I was completely blown away by you carving those gnome stamps. Amazing. Amazing. So I'm putting a dimensional right there next to the heart, and then I'm going to add my liquid glue to the other side of my speech bubble like that. And there we go. So there's our greeting. You're just saying hi. And what else do we need? We're going to put this on the card front. How about that? All right, so now we're going to just go ahead, add our glue, a little bit of glue, very tiny lines of glue when you're using liquid glue, because it will ripple if you use a lot of glue. I know some people are like, oh, I use a lot of glue so my card doesn't fall apart, but you don't have to worry about the liquid glue is super strong, you guys. It'll definitely hold up. Okay, so there's that, and then we can go ahead and put our inside on the inside. Now this card, after I created this card, I was looking at it, I'm like, this could look so pretty with any of the colors and the salted background. You could do, like I just did Coastal Cabana, but you could pull in any of the greens. You could even pull in the pink and do a background, right? Like really, really fun technique. And no two cards are ever the same. You can even tell these two cards, they're slightly different because the technique looks different every time we do it. Okay, so the last thing on the card is to add those gorgeous faceted gems. So we're just going to add one up here. We'll put one right on the high, right on the greeting. And then I'm going to put my third one off to the left on the sample of the technique. And that, my friends, is our first card for the August Technique Club. I hope you like this one. I hope you'll try this technique at home. Alrighty, let's move on to our second card. Now, our second card is your Blueberry Bushel card. Okay, so you'll have a kit with a Blueberry Bushel card base. And be very careful, as I mentioned, the gems are in there. So do open your envelope very carefully so that, oh, thank you so much, Mary, for joining. Watch where these little gems go because they can fall out and go missing on your floor. And that's happened to me many, many times. Okay, so when we open this kit, we're going to have a bunch of little things in here. We've got a 2-inch piece of, remember the Starburst pattern. So I have this Starburst pattern, and you also have this rainbow pattern at the bottom. There's also circles. You can totally change this if you want to. I really wanted the Starburst to be at the top, and then whatever piece, everybody got something different, okay? Because there's only 4 sheets of each design. So this is a very different, everyone's got a different pattern, but we're going to make it work. So for your card, let me grab my sample card. What did I do with it? Here it is. Okay. So we're going to put this down onto the card base directly. Okay. So the white piece, the big white piece is for the inside of your card. So we'll set that aside. And then what we're going to do, so this is the card we're making. This one, Happy Birthday Friend. And the inside, we're going to do a little bit of stamping on the inside as well. So here we go. We're going to go ahead, put the white piece off to the side for now, and we're going to put our designer series paper down first. So let's get the glue flowing on here, like so. And then you have a little small piece of silver foil, and I'm just going to add a little bit of glue to that along the edge. And let's go ahead and put down those patterns. All right. So we're going to go up here, put this down, leaving about 1/8 of an inch around, and then we'll put this down the bottom. So everybody will have different patterns. Mine is different than my sample, and perhaps Christine has sent you different patterns, but this beautiful paper, it all goes together so lovely. It's just so vibrant and so happy. It just makes me happy. Okay, so there's our silver foil in the middle. And then remember I was telling you about the friend dies, how you've got your solid background, and then you've got the finer detailed die that goes over top. So this friend die, make sure if there's a little piece that has not popped out, you can just give that a little gentle nudge. The center of my E just needed to be popped out. Thank you, Krista. I'm happy you like these colors. They're so vibrant, right? They just are so happy. Okay, so we're going to take this skinny die and we're going to use our liquid glue. Now you could put this on a silicone mat and sponge the glue on if you wanted to. I really like using my liquid glue. It never lets me down. And I often do exactly what I'm doing here. I'm putting the glue on and I'm going to let this dry. Even like you can even let it completely dry. But my favorite thing is to let it partially dry. It is way less messy when you let your glue dry. The minute it makes contact with the second piece of cardstock, it's going to stick. So don't worry, it will stick. It'll make contact and it'll be stuck. So we're just going to do exactly that. We're going to let that sit for a second. While that's partially drying, I'm going to stamp on this punched out piece that you have in your kit. So we're going to stamp happy birthday on here. All right, so I've got my happy birthday. I'm going to bring in blueberry bushel. We're going to stamp blueberry bushel. Okay, so here we go. And I'm going to stamp to the right of it because I am going to trim the left to a straight edge. So stamp your happy birthday. And then if you like the sponged look on the edges, you can do that. You can use a finger dauber, a sponge dauber to apply the colors. I'm actually going to bring in a blending brush and we're going to apply the color with a blending brush. So I've got my blending brush here. Just move this away for a second while it's drying. And we're going to go ahead, tap into your ink pad and just start on your glass mat and just add a little bit of that blue just to soften up the edges there a little bit. There we go. We'll come around and then I'm going to use my trimmer. You can cut this straight with your scissors if you're good with your scissors, or you can use your trimmer. Why not use your trimmer? You have it, right? So we're just going to come in here and trim the edge like that. Easy peasy. And now we're just going to make sure that we put glue on that cut edges, on the cut edge, because make it all uniform. All right, so there's the blue. There's my greeting. Now, before I go any further, I'm going to bring in, remember I was telling you at the beginning of the video that this is a glass mat studio. In the studio, you get the glass mat, you get a chamois cloth that you just moisten with warm water, just water, and you can then clean your glass mat with this. And I store mine in a Stampin' container, storage container, just to keep it nice and neat and tidy. The other part of this suite is what I like to call my little charcuterie board, and that's actually really handy. I should be putting my embellishments in there so I don't lose them, to hold on to all the little bits of things that you need when you're card making, right? It can also hold a Stampin' Spot up here as well. You know, you can put your Stampin' Spots on there. And it sticks to the glass mat. Like, it does not want to move. You can lift it up, but it's not slippery. It will stick. So just a little shot for the glass mat studio. Okay, so now our greeting is going to go up here in the left corner with some a couple of dimensionals. So let's grab a couple of those. We'll put them on here. All right, so now we'll pop this up like that. And then this piece here is going to go on here, but let's put the friend on. So remember, we were letting this dry for a little bit. I'm just going to pick that up with my finger. I can pick it up with my finger. It's no longer wet and sticky and goopy, and there's nothing on my finger. So I can just play with it. Well, you don't really want to play with it. You want to just be able to touch it and not get sticky fingers. So I'm just going to start with one letter at a time here and just tap them down. Because remember, once this makes contact, it sticks, right? So we're just going to line up the R, the I, the E, then the N, and then the D. Now, luckily enough, that little tiny dot, I don't even know if you can see that on your computer screen or wherever you're watching, that is the die that comes out of, that is the little piece of cardstock that comes out of the die. Now, I don't know if Christine was really diligent and got those little microscopic dies in your kits, but I didn't worry about it for my ladies. I told them that the I for the friend we are going to put a gem on there. So those 3 little gems that you got in your kit, we're going to use a small one to be the dot for our eye. I really think it looks pretty, and you don't have to worry about keeping track of that little tiny speck of cardstock. And I'm actually shocked that the one I'm using, the kit that I'm using on my video, actually had it. Like, I could probably have put money on it that would have ended up on the floor. Okay, so that's going to be the eye for our friend. Okay, so this is going to go on the front of the card. I popped mine up using mini dimensionals. So I'm going to grab my mini dimensionals and get those on here. So we're going to put where we can. I use my take your pick tool to pick up those dimensionals, and I'm putting them onto the thicker parts of this die, and it should be good. Now down around here on the word friend, you may want to cut your dimensionals in half. So I'm just going to grab my scissors and come in here and just snip a couple of those little hexagons in half, and then I can put them on those places. So let's grab this little one here and put it on the end of the D, and there we go. And then we'll grab some more and put them on the F over here. Make sure it's cut. All right, so we'll put that one right there. This is why the take your pick tool is very, very handy. It enables you to pick up small things and place them exactly where you want them. Like, it works way better than my fingers. Okay, so we'll put that one right there, and I think I need another one on that side. So let's pick this one up and put one right there. And last one on my finger, we might as well put it on the project. We'll put that one there. Okay, so there's my popped up friend. Let's make sure all those backings are off so that this can stick down properly. Here we go. Let's see. One there, one there. Yep, okay. Alrighty, so now we're just going to put this on an angle like so across the front of the card. Isn't that amazing? I love it. Love, love, love it. Okay, so the rest of my bling, let's get those in place here. So we got one on the dot for the eye. We're going to put this one right there where it just landed, and we're going to put one up here next to the, it just jumped away on me like a little grasshopper. They ever do that to you? They do that to me. They like to jump away. Oh, and the little adhesive is already there. Okay, you just gotta laugh sometimes at things that happen. Pick up that little adhesive and move it where I want it. And now I'm using the putty end of my tip to, sorry my head's in the camera, guys, to pick that up and put it in the right spot. Okay, after all that, the front of the card is done. There we go. So there's the front. Now let me show you the trick. There's no trick to it really, for the inside. So the inside is your white piece of cardstock, 4 by 5 1/4. Here it is right here. Now we're going to stamp the inside with Thinking of You using Blueberry Bushel. Okay, so I got to clean that up because I remember I used it on my last card. So let's bring in my chamois and we'll get this cleaned up. Yeah, I like the bright colors too. This paper is so beautiful. Grab it before the end of August, guys, while you can, on sale, right? Okay, Thinking of You. I love that this card can be used for both masculine or feminine too. That's really, really handy. Okay, so now what we want to do is you want to get your chamois cloth or your baby wipe or whatever it is you use to clean your stamps. Have it close by, because we're going to pull in from the stamp set, we're going to pull in this little stamp right here that looks like a swish from a paintbrush. Okay, this one right here. So I'm going to grab that stamp. I'm going to put it on a block. Let me grab the appropriate sized block. And I'm actually going to use this one, this small block here. Okay, so it wants to stick to my glass mat. Okay, of course it does. All right, so let's do this. We'll get it on the block. And then we're going to just alternate the colors. So we're going to start off with Berry Burst, stamp the edge. Go right into your chamois and clean. Important, you have to clean. And have your chamois cloth close by too, because it's going to be on your glass mat, because we're stamping off the edge. We're living on the edge over here. We want to clean that off. All right, so let's get into a rhythm now. We're going to go with Blueberry Bushel. Clean the stamp, clean the glass. Go back into Berry Burst, stamp the edge, clean the stamp. Oh! And clean the glass. Rose getting excited here now. Okay, let's go back again. Let's do Blueberry Bushel, stamp, clean the stamp, clean your glass. Now, if you're doing this on what was I trying to say? Grid paper, you won't have to clean the glass because it's just on your grid paper, right? But I love my glass mat. I gotta clean it. Okay, so there's my next one is Berry Burst. Clean your stamp, clean the glass. So slick, so easy. Now I think I can get one more little paint swoosh right there in Blueberry Bushel. All right, so just cleaning up. Sorry for all the squeaks. And there we go. Look at that. All done. So easy, and it's so cool to use these stamps in different ways, right? Here's a look at the front of the stamp set. I mean, you can use all these stamps. The words in this stamp set are so amazing. You can spell out your own sentences, right? So excited for you. Thank you. Thank you for being a best friend. Love you, love you, friend, miss you, friend, hi, friend, hi, best friend. Like there's so many different combinations to put these stamps together, right? I love it. I absolutely love it. It is such a vibrant, beautiful, cheerful bundle. The entire suite collection is a must-have in my opinion. It's definitely one you're going to use over and over and over again. Okay, so here is the inside going into the card. There we go. I think this card, you could do this in any color. I've just chosen Blueberry Bushel and Berry Burst, but you could use the greens, the yellows, any of the colors in the suite would match. Any of the colors in the designer series paper would look fantastic, right? So there's our card number 2. Are you ready? Are you ready for card number 3? I'm in love with card number 3. Card number 3 is a fun fold, and I'm super excited to show you. Now, my fun fold card, I have to show you what happened. There was a little accident at Boston Pizza. And anyway, I knew I was going to make another one, so it's okay. I should have had it in a plastic sleeve. To clean your stamps, to use water or SU cleaner. I don't use any kind of spray cleaner, Marie. I use my chamois. My chamois just has water. So when you buy the chamois, look at my chamois. When you buy a chamois from the catalog, I believe they're $11, you're going to get a cute little light pink chamois that looks like the edge. You see how light pink that is? That's what it'll come like. And then when you use it, it'll look like, for years and years, it'll looks like this. So all I do every morning, I come down, I take this little chamois, I take it to my bathroom, and I run the water, warm water. I let it saturate it and let it flow. I watch the ink leave through the sink, right? Through the water. When the water runs clear, I take it, I wring it out, not completely. I keep it, you want to keep it wet enough to be able to clean your stamps. So what you do is you take your stamps, and I'm just going to grab a piece of scrap paper here to show you how slick this is. So I know this one has Berry Burst on it. I'm going to press it into the chamois. I'm just pressing it, tap, 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 and watch. There's no ink. Oh, I lied. Maybe my chamois is dirty. If your chamois needs to be rinsed, it'll look like that. Let's try down here. Let's try the edges because, yeah, so there we go. There we go. Let's try the high. We'll stamp that down here. I'm just stamping, and it's just water, so you don't have to worry, right? And then the word, I haven't used that one yet. Happy birthday. That one needs to be cleaned. So when you stamp it, there's an example. Okay, so the happy birthday is clean. So you see how I stamped the happy birthday on the chamois, and I had used Blueberry Bushel.
That's how it gets so muddy, right? The ink goes into the chamois. The chamois just like slurps it up. And then you can just press and test it if you want to. But I was completely, absolutely impressed by the chamois when I first got it. This is my second one. I have another one too for when I do classes. I have two of them that float around the class. So that's my recommendation for cleaning your stamps. Get yourself a chamois, and it will dry out, right? Because it comes in a plastic bag. And when you cut it open, the next day it'll be dried up. But as the minute you rinse it, it'll stay like this. So put it in one of these clear cases is my recommendation. Okay, let's get on to the fun fold card. So my fun fold card fell into the ink pad right here. It fell into the Berry Burst ink pad and I almost cried. But you know what? It's okay. I have an extra card kit. I'll make a new one. So it opens like this. And then inside we have this So Excited for You, best wishes. There was, true story, there was a lady at the class who was going to a wedding that weekend and she used this as her wedding card. What a great wedding card, hey? Best wishes. So excited for you. Okay, so now let's pull in the kit. So for this kit, we've got a bunch of cardstock here. And I'm going to get rid of these ink pads so I don't put my arm in them. For this card, we're going to need Shaded Spruce and Balmy Blue ink. Okay, so let's grab those ink pads, Shaded Spruce and Balmy Blue. All right, so opening your kit, you're going to have a bunch of stuff again. You're going to have your ribbon and your bling. So let me grab my little tray and hold on to these pieces until I'm ready to use them. So you also have a die cut leaf. You're most welcome, Marie. You have a punch out of our Heartfelt Hexagon punch. And then you've got your designer series paper pre-cut for you. You've got your white piece of cardstock cut, and then you've got some Balmy Blue. Okay, so you have a square piece of Balmy Blue, and then you're going to have another piece of Balmy Blue for the inside card. So this piece of Lemon Lime Twist, this is the structure of the card. So let's start there. We'll fold this up. So this has 1, 2, 3, 4 score lines. So find the fourth one. This is the one that's going to make the card be able to fit in the envelope, right? So it's at the 4-inch line. And all these measurements will be in the PDF for the club members will be emailed that. Yeah, it's at the 4-inch mark. So fold that up and you'll find that is the background of your card, okay? So you can do, I'm actually gonna fold mine this way. And then you can accordion fold all the other folds, okay? So then we're gonna just do fold back and then back on itself. So then you have this little skinny panel on the front here. And I must have, yeah, I do have blue ink on my fingers. Ugh, okay. Let's get a baby wipe. Oh, world problems. We're going to make sure you don't have ink on your fingers when you're stamping. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. Now, we're going to make sure, I'm going to make that the back because there's a little bit of blue ink on it. All right, so now we're going to fold back this way, this way, this way, and this way. All righty. So now we've got our card fold like that, okay? So can you see the W? I'm going to hold it so you can see the aerial shot of this. There's like a W at the top, okay? So then what we want to do, we can build the structure of the card. So this is really important to make sure that you line things up. So we have our Balmy Blue pieces and our DSP in white. We're just going to grab the Balmy Blue pieces for a second. So the background Balmy Blue piece is going to sit right back here, okay? So I would start there. This is a square piece of cardstock. So you want to put that, position that in the back panel of your card. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and glue this down like so. If I can pick it up. Okay, so we're going to just center it here. I'm centering from the side to the side and the top to the top. And the reason I want to do that is because when I put this card inside my fun fold, I'm actually going to take this piece of Balmy Blue and fold it in half with the opening pointed to the left, I'm going to add glue to the top inside and the bottom inside. Then I'm going to fold it and lay it down like this. I'm laying it down on that square because I want it to line up perfectly with that back square. And then I'm not this piece is still free because what I want to do now is take my pleats and fold them in. Okay. So just gently fold the pleats in, and then you can take the top flap and you're going to close that down like that. That's how we get that inside card. Now, let me show you when I open it what it looks like. There's the aerial shot. We basically have a W and a V on the bottom. Okay, so then when this closes, whatever I put on this panel is going to be covered, and it's going to make a nice clean front. All right, so that's the trick. Put this square down first. If you put this one down, it's harder to line up this one. Okay, so there's the structure of the card. Now we get to do all the fun stuff. So the designer series paper that I've given you, you can change them. You can flip them over. They're double-sided. I put the squares on the front of the card like this. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that. And then this piece here, let me show you my sample card again. This piece goes on the inside in here. Okay, so let's flip both of these over and get our glue on them. Okay. Okay, so now we'll put these squares. One goes on the front like this. And then the other one goes inside like that. Okay, bringing all those beautiful colors together. Isn't it gorgeous? I love these colors. And then we can apply our, let me show you the sample card again to show you what we're doing. So this leaf die goes in the background, and I just put it on an angle like that. So make sure that you put glue only on the portion that's going to be touching. You don't want to put it on the outside pieces because it'll glue your card shut. So I'm just going to bring in my glue and put it like along the spine a little bit in the center, and then maybe a couple of little blurbs of glue coming out the side like that. And it doesn't really take much of this glue to hold this down because we're going to be putting our greeting over top. Okay, so there's that. I'm just going to tuck that under my my little glass mat thing, my charcuterie board. Okay, and you know what? This is such an easy card to make. Once you've got all the pieces cut and scored, it's so easy to make. Now on our heartfelt hexagon, we're going to stamp best wishes. So the word best is going to be stamped with shaded spruce. So we'll open our shaded spruce, and then we're going to do wishes in balmy blue. Again, pulling all those beautiful colors in to the card. All right, so shaded spruce, tap, 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 and we'll stamp in the center like that, towards the top a little bit. Ooh. And if that happens to you, I think I pressed a little too hard on my ink pad. So guess what? You get 2 chances. You can flip this over. I'm going to try again. I'm just going to clean this off, and I'm going to go gentler. So just tap, tap, tap. I'm not even pressing the stamp. I'm just like basically laying it on my ink pad. My ink pad is very juicy. And I'm going to try one more time. There we go. And I can tell looking down through the stamp that I don't have any ink on the inside parts of the stamps like I did. If you missed that over here, you see how the bottom of the S is already colored in? It's because I pressed too hard on the ink pad. So I'm happy that happened so that I could explain to you how to fix that. Okay, now let's stamp the wishes. So stamp the wishes in balmy blue down here. And there's enough room, if you want to look through the stamp, you can take the line on the H and put it between the E and the S, and it'll fit. Just like so. Like that. Okay, so now I'm using this baby wipe to clean my stamps, but my chamois is close by too. So now we're going to add a little bit of balmy blue to the edge of this. It just makes it pop a little bit more. And let's see. Balmy blue. Let's see my balmy blue brush. Let's use the blending brush. And I'm just going to start on the glass mat and just gently add a little bit to the edges. like that. All right. Now, so for the front of this, we've got the little bit of ribbon coming down the bottom. So I'm going to take my ribbon, going to flip this over, and I'm just going to arrange it into like a little flag, a little banner like that. And that's going to go, let me make sure I'm in the right spot. It's going to go right here on this part of my punch out like that. And this is going to be stuck on with dimensionals. So I'm going to do double duty with those dimensionals again, if I can find them on my desk. Anybody else do the same? They just like are so excited when they're crafting that things just get put down and never picked up again. That's not true. Okay. I've got ends over here on this one. Let's use up these. Use up your bits. Yikes. Now I can't find my scissors. Okay, they're right in front of me. Okay, so I'm snipping here my edges of my dimensionals. So we're going to put a dimensional to anchor this down. Put one right there. And we'll put one on this side. So that's going to secure my ribbon. It's also going to help me to pop up this greeting. So one there and one there. All right, so we've got all that done. Now we're going to peel off these backings, and we could put this on the card and then trim it. That works as well. So I'm going to put this right in the center of this block here in the front, like that. And then I can bring in my scissors and just angle cut this way and this way. All right, so there we go. Now we still got to put our bling. Don't forget your bling. So let's grab our bling from our tray here. And we got to do the inside piece as well. So I'm just going to grab the big bling and put it down here. And then we've got two small ones. So we'll put one up here on the back of the card. And we're going to put one over here on this square. That one wanted to flip over. Okay, so there's the front. Okay, and the middle. We got to do this inside piece, which is this basic white piece right here. So for this piece, we're going to bring in from the stamp set this little sprig. Now I love it because it matches the die cut, the die cut that I put on the front. So let's get that on a block. And let's see. So we've got it right here. Then the other thing that I did is this stamp up here. Let me show you in the front. So excited for you. It's a fairly long stamp, and it would be a little too long for this square. It would barely fit, and I didn't really like the look of that. So I did a little stamp surgery. I snipped this stamp in half, okay? I just brought my scissors in very, very carefully, and I cut it into two pieces, okay? So that I could stack this on a block. So let's put it down on my glass mat here. I'm going to line it up with the lines on the back of my glass mat. So excited. And then I'm going to put this right next to it for you. I think that looks good. Let's pick it up with a block. You can pick both of them up together like that. And then you can test them out. So let's just grab a scrap piece of paper and stamp. Yes, I like it. Always test it to make sure. Now, that's not the color I wanted to use, so let's clean it. I really need to clean my chamois because it's got blue, obviously got a lot of blue ink in it. Okay, so we're going to stamp that with Balmy Blue. We're going to stamp So Excited for You. Best wishes, so excited for you. This could be a great graduation card. Just got married card, could be someone going off to university, you know, you're so excited for them, wishing best wishes. We're going to stamp the greenery right here. There we go. There we go. I'll move my ink pads off to the side. Let's grab my liquid glue and we'll put this on the inside. So many fun things that you can do with the Friends for Life stamp set. You can make lots and lots of different combinations, permutations of greetings for whatever you need, right? Look at that. So easy. Oh my goodness. All right, let's bring back the cards. Let's do a little recap. The first card we did was the technique. right? The salted background technique, like this one right here. This is the green with the Coastal Cabana.
And the inside says thinking of you with the hearts.
Then we moved on to our vibrant, beautiful card for friend. Happy birthday, friend. Thinking of you. And last but not least, we have this fun fold card here with best wishes using Balmy Blue and Lemon Lime Twist.
So there we have it. Let's take a look at the piece that I showed you at the very beginning of the video. Thank you, Gail. Thank you, Rebecca. The very beginning of the video, I started to demonstrate the technique, which had to dry, and I moved that piece off to the side.
Let's pull it back in and see what's happened. Okay, so I colored, if you're just joining me, I colored this piece of watercolor paper using Coastal Cabana Stampin' Spot. And I put a lot of ink on, and then I spritzed it with the water spritzer. Okay, I made it really nice and juicy. And then I took my salt. I shook it. I didn't shake it. I used both. So basically it's coarse salt, but it's also, you know, like I used the grinder, so some fine bits came out too. I wanted to show a little bit of the effect of both different types of salt. So you can use coarse, you can use table salt, you could use Himalayan salt, any kind of salt will work. Then when it's dry, like it is now, you just gently brush the salt off to reveal the technique, and take a look at how cool this one has turned out. Oh, I'm going to hold it up close to the camera so you can see all of the different speckles and different, the technique. It's still a little bit damp because it's not, what happens with watercolor paper when it's wet like this, when you set it aside, I would recommend setting it aside overnight. When you set it aside to dry, it flattens out. Okay, so if I leave this on my desk, when I come back tomorrow, it will be flat. Okay, it will naturally flatten. Someone asked a question about using a heat gun. You can use a heat tool, but then you're going to change the effect by using the heat tool. So I really recommend
waiting, because it allows the salt to sit in place, do its job by absorbing the water and the color. Because if you use a heat tool, you're going to move things around and you're going to lose a little bit of the effect. Okay, so it is wise, if you think you're going to want to do some of these cards, maybe take a whole sheet of your Fluid 100 paper and do it in one color, do a bunch of colors, and then you have them ready for when you need them. So I also was sharing with you, you know, the different colors that I had at the beginning of the video, right? And like, these are just, you know, now I can use them, they're ready, and see how they've all flattened out. This was, I didn't do anything special to them. I just let them dry and they do flatten out. So it's a fun technique. I hope you liked learning about this one, and I hope you'll use it in your future card making. Now, what's coming up? Oh my goodness. In September, we are going to be playing with a bundle. I have it here and I can show you the bundle that I'm going to feature in September. We are going to play with More Than Autumn. More Than Autumn is an amazing, amazing bundle. You get all of these stamps that you see here. They're photopolymer. And again, you're going to be able to make lots and lots of greetings. There's stuff for fall. There's stuff for Christmas. There's stuff for even like Thanksgiving. Grateful, you know, grateful it's finally fall. There's so many great things about fall. And the dies are amazing. Check it out. You got all these dies, all these different words. There's nothing better than, you've got the word pumpkin, cocoa. What is this one? Spice. We got apple, season, hot, love, love, love. And they've got little ones over here. You like this one, Krista? I love it too. You've got latte and coffee. So what the technique, I have 2 of the cards to share with you. You'll have to stay tuned for the third one. The first one we're going to do using some new product. We're going to do this one here. This calls for pumpkin pie. So we're going to make this card here. We've got an embossing folder that's plaid that is coming. You can paint tape on it, your glass mat bigger than you need, then heat it. Yes, if you put it down, that's right, Marie. If you put it down I've never tried heat gunning it. Well, actually, I did try it and it was moving around too much, and I thought it wasn't going to give me the effect I wanted.
But you can try. Absolutely, guys. Try the technique. Try the different things, right? So this is the first card using the plaid. We've got some, that's the iconic Christmas paper that came out with the online exclusives. And we got some new bling. And then the inside of this card, if I can get it opened, fall is the best. Okay, that's our first card. Then this is a sneak peek at the technique that we're going to be doing next month. We're going to be playing with making our own frosting here. And this one, my friends, this if this was smell-o-vision and not YouTube, you could smell this card. It is going to be chocolate cinnamon. We're going to make like scratch and sniff on top of this whipped cream here. Isn't that fun? I absolutely love it. We got a lot of new products going on here. We got stamps, we got dies, we've got, look at the peppermint bling. I'll just hold it to the side. You can see how amazing these bling are, and they are adhesive backed. So you're going to get those. Let's check out the glimmer paper. We've got greens and reds, new designer series paper. So excited, so excited about September and the fall and the mini catalog. And this club, you guys want to join this club. If you are from Canada, reach out to me, drop me a message below this video and let me know. You can the best way is to email me at rosecoleman@shaw.ca. We're going to actually use cinnamon and cocoa. Yep, for the scratch and sniff. And the actual whipped cream is our embossing paste. Okay, so you'll have to come back and watch the video and join us and get these kits so you can actually make them with us in September. If you are from the United States, I'll post all of the information below this video where you can reach myself or Christine, and you can come along and make these two cards plus my third one. I'll share that one with you when I get it finished. But I was so excited to share two of the three that I have designed for you. And I'm going to get the other one done before I go away, which is like Saturday. So I'm on it. Thank you all for joining me for our August Technique Club. I'm going to flip you around here now. And woo, let's see if I can get my camera to work. There we go. All right. All right. Thank you guys. That was a fun class. I always have a blast when I stamp with you. And teaching a new technique really fills my heart with joy. I want to thank you for joining me today. If you're watching the replay, thank you for coming back to join me. And I will see you very soon. And don't forget, if you want to join this incredible club, reach out to myself or Christine Bertram by linking down below. Leave a message, contact us at our contact information below this video. You can join any month you want. So if you're watching this video, today is August 16th, 15th, my apologies. I'm trying to take days away from myself before my vacation, and that's not a good idea. I got lots to do. Definitely reach out and we will get you started on this amazing club so you can start learning some fun new ways to use your stamps, your ink, your paper, and other products, right? Like today we use table salt. Next month we're using cocoa and cinnamon. Like there's lots. All right, take care, everyone. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye for now. Whoops, where's that off button? There we go.